Matt Repchek. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Florida Citrus Sports in Orlando. We manage the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl and the Pop Tarts Bowl. I looked right down the barrel. I started and then I didn't. I messed up. Sorry.
Pop Tarts Bowl is a prime example of creative activation. How much is that changing now than what you've seen? Is that benchmark now?
Well, it's a little bit too high of a benchmark. They've done such a good job that yes, we can follow that process with others, but it really comes down to business goals. I think probably the biggest opportunity, the biggest up and growth moment for bowl games is showing them off as a platform for those partners to achieve the things they're doing. It's a little bit of a blank slate. There's some of our other partners. I think the Las Vegas Bowl is a great example of like a B2B success story that they're sponsoring, was specifically looking at hospitality and brand growth within a specific area, and it paid off in big ways. Pop Tarts was looking for, obviously it's a B2C thing. It's what Matt Brown, Extra Points newsletter, Matt Brown calls a gas station sponsor. It's something that you can go out and grab at 7-Eleven or Wawa or whatever on your way home. And so you create the salience with people, and the next time they're in the store, they go grab it. Like beyond the areas that they already show up, they're known as like household staple for breakfast, especially household with kids. Some of those people that grew up on Pop Tarts are now adults. So how do you get them thinking about it and eating them again? And also it not being completely limited to breakfast. How do you break into new spaces? So college football was this incredible core group that matched a lot of the people they were trying to get to. They said, how do we make sure we're getting them to consider Pop Tarts in the rest of their day, and showing up in a way in this very passionate college football space in a way that feels authentic to them, but also feels kind of authentic to Pop Tarts. That part is the approach that, like, it was always there in front of everybody's face, but I think it unlocked a couple of things. Like, you can't just show up and put your logo in places or just try to get people to engage in the way that you want to. You have to show up in the way that the audience wants to. And they found the synergies, like the connection of the Venn diagram between Pop Tarts aficionados and college football fans around. People like to argue about their favorite flavor, like to argue about toasted versus non-toasted. There's a lot of passion there. You connect that with passion of college football. You do things that are silly and entertaining, but also like layer on top of a 4-quarter football game, and people engage with it, right? They were like, I'm enjoying my Georgia Tech BYU game, but the teams themselves were all into how much can we have fun with this while we're here? And you think about like a BYU who was just a play or two away from the playoff, right? They only lost to one team twice all year and didn't make it, and said, you know what, we're going to go have fun in Orlando. And they, from player to coach, like everybody leaned into it because of what Pop Tarts has created, but what they've also allowed people to like embrace and have fun in. So everyone kind of feels some ownership of that game and how they want to show up in weird ways. Like somebody on social media posted a mock-up of the helmets with sprinkles, and Georgia Tech and BYU football staff was like, oh, I think we could probably do that. That wasn't like we didn't pitch that to anybody. That came out because somebody did it on social media. The equipment staff saw it and say, let's get creative, and then ask if we can have permission to do it. So those are the things that it's hard to, like, you can't make a playbook for those things, but you show a sponsor, like if you stay true to yourself, stay true to the things that are important for your brand and what you want to accomplish, and then show up in front of whatever group of fans you're trying to reach in a way that still feels true to them. That's where you make magic.
And in the gas station branding at 2
right.
a.m. with a gallon of milk and,
That's right.
Fudge Pop Tarts.
Yeah. There are people, media members or my friends that will text me a photo of Pop Tarts in the shopping cart and be like, you got me again.
Thank you for contributing. Great job, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome.